So in this video, we'll be discussing about what exactly are props, and we'll also be exploring about the process of prop drilling. So let's get started. So first, let's initially understand what are props. So in React, props, that is short for properties, are used to pass data from a parent component to a child component. So your props make components reusable by allowing them to receive dynamic values. So now let's understand how exactly your props are going to work. So props are considered to be read only, that is they are immutable. So they allow components to be customized when they are reused, and they're passed as attributes inside of JSX. So now let's understand this with the help of an example. So let's say I'm going to create a component that is known as greeting. So here I've just opened up a basic code sandbox template in React. So here within the src, I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to say greeting.js. So here I'm just going to say export const greeting is going to be equals to a normal arrow function. So here for now I'm just going to return my h1 tag over here. So I'm going to say h1, and within the h1 tag I'm just going to give a name over here. I'm just going to say hello name. I'm going to save the file. Now let's come back to the app. So now instead of showing these two pieces of text that are initially being shown, let's remove this, and over here I'm going to show my greeting component. So make sure to import greeting from greeting, save the file. So now as you can see, since we had some text being shown inside of greeting which says hello name, the same thing is being shown onto the screen, which is correct. So now let's send some props to this particular component. So let's say I'm going to send in a name. So here I'm going to say name is going to be Alice, save. And now let's actually get in this particular name from your greetings component that is over here. So the way we access that is over here. So we can take in the props and let's try to render the name that we sent from the app component. So for that, let's come back over here, and the way we access that is it is just going to be equals to just write in props, and whatever name you have given over here, the same thing should be entered over there to access this particular value. So now we need to access the name. So over here it's going to be props.name. As you can see, it is saying hello Alice, which is correct. So the other way, that is the ES6 way, is to destructure the props over here directly. So instead of taking in the props and writing in props.name, you can directly take in this particular value, that is name, so that you can directly destructure it. So for that, I'm just going to say open the brace and take in that particular name, and here in this part you can directly access the name over here. As you can see, even this is correct. So here we are able to see the text which says hello Alice. Let's similarly reuse the component again with a different name over here. Let's say I'm going to pass in John, and over here Bob. So as you can see, as and when I enter a new component and then pass in the name, we're able to see that being shown onto the screen based on whatever property I've passed into this component, and based on whatever is destructured over here, we're able to show that text onto the screen. So this is the initial example, or how your props are sent from one component to another component. So just a summary about this. So here in this case, the greeting component receives a name prop, and your app component, that is this one, passes different names such as Alice, John, Bob to your greeting component as props, and your greeting component displays different messages based on the props received, just like this. So now let's understand what exactly is prop drilling. This is very important. So prop drilling happens when a prop needs to be passed through multiple components to reach to the required child component. So this can make your code kind of messy and difficult to maintain as well. So let's understand this with the help of an example. So let's say you have two components. Let's write that over here itself. So as of now, I'm just going to remove this because this example is done. So at the top over here, I'm going to initialize two components. Let's say const, I'm going to say dashboard is going to be equals to a normal arrow function, and I'm going to have another function, not a function, another component. I'm going to say const display user is going to be a normal arrow function. Here I'm just going to return a h2 tag, and within this I'm just going to say welcome name for now. Save the file. So now inside of your app component, I'm going to render the dashboard. So to the dashboard, so before that I'm going to initialize some string over here that is kind of hard coded for now. I'm just going to say const user is going to be equals to Alice. Okay, so just imagine these two are different components in different files, but as of now I'm just going to use it in this file itself for the example. So for the dashboard, I'm going to pass in the username property. So this value is going to be equals to user. That is the value that I just initialized it over here. Okay, so this dashboard is going to take in this prop, that is this particular component itself. So let's get that over here. So let's destructure that, and then I'm going to say user name. So furthermore, this dashboard is going to have this display user being shown, right? I'm going to say return display user, and here this again is going to get passed down. So I'm going to say username is going to be equals to username. So this username is the property value, and this username is the key value that is coming from your props over here. So now display user again is going to get in this username, and here we are going to show the name. I'm going to say name over here. Okay, I think I made a mistake over here. This should be username, not the name. So as you can see, now we're able to see the text being shown, but this is an example of your prop drilling. So now let's understand what exactly is happening. So here your main app component has your user state, that is this one, and furthermore your app component passes down that to your dashboard component, that is this particular one. So as you can see over here in the code, your dashboard component doesn't use your username. Your username is only used inside of your display user. So even though your username is not used, we need to pass down to your display user, just because we need to access that at the last level over here, which in this case is your display user. So as you can see, display user finally uses the username prop and then it is displayed. So this process of sending down props from the topmost level, that is from the parent level, to the bottommost child level, is known as your prop drilling. So in this case, prop drilling is occurred because the username prop is being passed down through dashboard, even though your dashboard does not need that prop. So let's understand few basic things, that is some problems with prop drilling. So the first issue is like unnecessary passing. So let's say components in between like dashboard have to pass props even when they do not need them, that is to show it onto the screen. So the next one is difficult to maintain. So if a new component is introduced between your app and the display user, it also needs to receive and pass the prop. So some of the solutions to avoid prop drilling is by making use of the context API. So this actually provides a global way to pass data without manually passing props. So you can also use your state management libraries like, let's say, Redux or the Stand for managing the global state of the application. So yes, that's a basic understanding of what exactly are props in React. So we understood that with the help of an example, and we also explored about what exactly is prop drilling with the help of an example as well. And we also learned about what are the solutions for prop drilling. So that's it about this video. Let's see you in the next one, and then thank you for watching.